Hi you guys, this is Iris, and I know this video seems very long for such a simple technique, which is victory rolls, but I wanted to create this hairstyle and also go very slow as far as instruction goes, because I know there are a lot of you who have been able to get this technique down with no problem, but then there are also many of you who are still having problems and who are asking for help. So let's get started. What I'm doing here is just parting my hair to one side, and I'm going to gather what is going to be my right victory roll. Then I'm going to create a perfect line from the top of the first part to the bottom, and I'm going to brush it upward, making sure that I get all of the hair that's closest to the side of my face to be very tight as I hold it up in this angle. Then I'm going to wrap my hair around my thumb just to create a very simple victory roll for now. What I'm doing here is I'm testing my hair section for the appropriate size. So I'm just going to check and make sure that I do want my rolls to be this side. If I want them to be bigger, then of course I'm going to take more hair. So here you can see the back of the way the victory roll is going to fall. And I do want them to be this size. I don't want them to be any bigger or any smaller. Of course, again, like I said, if you want them bigger, take more hair. If you want them smaller, take less hair. Now I'm going to section the rest of my hair to the side just to keep it out of the way. I highly recommend that you do this too if you're following along. Now I'm going to gather as much of my layers as I can. Here you can see that I have long and shorter layers, so you want to go all the way up to the shortest layer and stop there. Now at about halfway, I'm going to put my hair around my hand, and I want it to be this way, not this way, and definitely not down here. So just make sure that you're concentrating or looking in a mirror to ensure that you're not pulling it down or up too high. Now, once you have it brushed at the angle that you want it to be, you can use a curling iron, you can use a clipless, a clipped, or hot rollers. Curling your hair is going to make it much easier to roll it later, but if you prefer, you don't have to use any of these tools at all. If you have curly hair, then you definitely want to straighten your hair before you start doing this technique. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pin it in place as it cools off, and you can choose to add some product to hold it in place. So just let that cool off, and then you can come back and release it. Of course, once you release it, you're going to have a lot of little flyaways again, so you're going to start brushing them upward and out of the way. You can choose to spray some more product later. And once you have it smoothed out, you want this back part and this front part particularly to be very tight as you wrap your hair around your thumb, and slowly, as you're still pulling it up, you're also rolling it down. And this is the most difficult part. This is where people mess up. And here you can see that I started to get a little bit of sagging in the back because I didn't hold it tight enough as I was rolling it. So what I'm saying here in the video that I suggest you do is to start all over again. And I know this can be very frustrating. A lot of people see me make my videos where I do it just once, but that's only because I don't want to record myself doing it over and over again, because it'll become boring to watch. But you do have to do it a few times until you get it right. And if you do get a little bit of sagging after so many times, you can also choose to bobby pin it, and I'll show you guys how I do that in a little bit. So don't let go of the hair until you pin it in place. But right now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I create the roll that I want it to become. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start taking my bobby pins, actually spray just a little bit more of hairspray, and then smooth it out nice and smooth, and then you can start pinning it in place. Starting from the back, right under the hair, you can see that I'm pinning it right on the inside so that you can conceal as much as possible, and it's not on the outside. Then I took some of the hair and just kind of spread it open a little bit to cover up the bobby pin. Then here in the front, as you can see, my hand still isn't letting go, not until I feel 100% secure as far as the hair not falling apart as I'm getting my bobby pins. And I know this tutorial is going really slow. Typically I cut out all of this stuff so you guys are not bored, but I'm leaving it here so that you guys, those of you who are having trouble can see. There you can see my fingers holding the pin curl in place, and then I'm just going to take the bobby pin like so, and then open it up and pin this down to my scalp. It has to be touching my scalp. And then at this point you can make any adjustments necessary. You can add another bobby pin if you want, or you can blend the two little, you see how the roll needs to be kind of like blended together better. You can do that. But I just kind of wanted to show you where I place the bobby pins. So now that I have that in place, I can go ahead and start working on my bangs area, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll them and pin them out of the way. You can also choose to put them in hot rollers or use a curling iron technique that I did earlier. Here I'm just going to grab another section. You can always split your hair in the middle and grab them from each side, but I just kind of went from the left and right side instead. So you can also test this side as well, just to make sure that it is the size that you want it to be and that it kind of matches the other side that you've already done. And here you can see that's what I'm doing, making sure that I kind of place it in the same place, that it is sort of the same size. And once I'm happy with my section, then I'm going to tie the rest of my hair out of the way. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just taking my curling iron and then wrapping it all the way around. Of course, like I said, you can use hot rollers. You can even skip this step if you want. Add your product as you'd like. Now, some of you might feel more comfortable teasing your hair too, just to create volume. Here I'm kind of zooming in on my thumb so that you guys can see how I wrapped it around my thumb and then slowly started to roll it downward. And as you can see, teasing it created a little bit more volume on that. And again, you want to keep this section that's more toward your skin very, very tight. And if it starts to become loose, then you're going to need to insert more bobby pins to hold it in place, almost like you would with a French roll. So here you can see I have just a little bit of sagging. I'm just going to kind of like pull it and hold it down to my scalp and then pin this inside, making sure to grab that little piece of hair that was sagging and then pin it to my scalp. Now I'm going to go ahead and work in the front bangs area. I never really know what to call this. It's not really bangs, but it's kind of like the bangs section. And I'm just going to roll it and pin it in place. But before I do that, I wanted to zoom in really close so that you guys can see where I place my bobby pins. You can see that I'm kind of putting it like under the hair and then just pushing it through, making sure that it does touch my scalp, because that's where it's where all the leverage is. So same thing on the other side, pinning it down to my scalp, making sure to conceal it as much as possible. And there you go. Now, just for the sake of keeping this as a tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I did with the rest of my hair. I just kept it in a low ponytail, and then I just started to wrap it around my own hand and then hold it in place. Don't let go, because what happens is that will happen right there if you let go. So you've got to really hold it down, hold it in place, making sure that all the hair is fully wrapped in, and then start pinning it down. Don't let go. I think I held it until I pinned about 7 bobby pins. But you guys can kind of get a sense of how your hair feels as you're pinning them down. It starts to feel really, really tight. And then once it feels tight, that's when you can go ahead and let go. So this is just what I did with the back of my hair. You can also do a ponytail. You can do so many things, but I think it turned out to look really cute like this. So I hope you guys have learned a little bit more about how to victory roll. And if you guys have any questions, please leave your questions in the comments area. Don't forget that I have a Facebook fan page, and I love to respond to comments there as well. I also do accept requests in the form of photos on my Facebook fan page. Now on to reading your comments. Congratulations on being first. Yay, finally! And congratulations on being second. Thank you very much. And here is the random answer to my previous question on my previous video. And if you'd like to see that video, go ahead and click here. This is a tutorial for the Katy Perry at the 2011 MTV EMAs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have been inspired.